Alright everybody, so undead unluck episode 3 sees Fuku and Andy basically ha having made it to Russia to to uh to go to that lake whose name I'm still not going to try to pronounce it until the dub comes out to face that third member of the union that Shane talked about in last week's episode. But the thing is, guys, throughout the entirety of the episode, Fuku and Andy are actually being pursued by by somebody else from Union that knows Andy, or as she calls him, Deadly Dearest, very well, because Gia or Gina, I actually think her name is Gia. Again, guys, I'm just going to say Gia until the dub officially comes out. She's actually the one who captured Andy and put him in Union's lab for for the 50 years he was imprisoned, starting from way back in 1970, and we find out that Andy may have possibly been born back in 1859, and so because Fuku is still not comfortable with, and is not as confident as Andy is with using Fuku's unluck as a weapon to actually get them to defeat the third member of Union that's supposed to be waiting for them at the lake. After smooth sailing on Andy's yacht, that they start by taking in the right, and Fuku keeps insisting that that relying on her bad luck is only going to get them in more trouble with Union's fellow navigators, and Andy's like, no sweat, but after members of the Union actually get on Andy's and Fuku's tail, Andy, despite using his ancient samurai skills and having to save Fuku's life by amputating his own limbs and giving her mouth to mouth to create the biggest stroke of unluck yet, and also still being slightly seductive with it on the way that Fuku takes it, at least. And Andy originally persuades Fuku that it might be a good idea to actually let Union capture both of them, so that Union can actually put to the test whether Fuku's unluck can actually be controlled or not. And like I said, after Fuku gets over the shock of Andy having saved her life yet again by having touched her private area, and for all the ladies out there, yes, Andy touched the girls, if you know what I mean, and giving her mouth to mouth, but this time he had to, because he was doing it, providing CPR, and then through eventually using an old samurai slasher tag that a wise old samurai taught him. Andy and Fuku are actually able to escape straight into Russia by stealing one of the Union's jets. And then Andy actually says to Fuku, "Alright, kid, you're gonna be on your own for a little while from this point on, because I actually gotta go round up some old war buddies of mine that to help us deal with whoever Shane sent waiting for us." And then that leads Fuku to actually have a little painting therapy session with Gia, who was actually just as unstable as Andy when it comes to being a psycho. But it's actually almost skewed because Fuku and Gia's original encounter, it is almost like therapeutic for her. She teaches Fuku about the importance of being able to express herself through art. But then at the end of the episode, she reveals her true colors, and Andy gets back just in time to say, "Gia, you haven't done much with those crow's feet of yours." And she says, "Deadly dearest, even after all this time alive, you haven't changed a bit." And Fuku and Gia actually do talk about how they both like things that don't change for their obvious different reasons. And that's the end of Undead and Unluck Part 3, guys. Have a good one.